Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lee Judges TV. Now, listen, what we've done, Dave, because we've had such a manic few days. We've had obviously the game Wednesday, a magnificent Arsenal win against Chelsea. We're going to have a little chat about that. We had the big event yesterday, which we're going to talk about yesterday at the Hippodrome. And of course, we're sitting here today and we realise that Manchester United versus Arsenal is on Saturday. Massive game. And we need to talk about it, So that's what we've done. Me and Dave have got ourselves together and quickly done this. Potsy can't be here today because he's out with his mates. So it's just me and Dave. But before we go into that, done a little video with BetVictor earlier on in the week. I wasn't in it, but they were discussing, funny enough, about the new manager of Manchester United, playing Manchester United tomorrow. So we thought it was appropriate to say it. So I'm just going to have a little look at this video, what you think about it. We'll discuss about it afterwards, and then we'll talk Chelsea and Manchester United.
Is it too big a job then for Ten Hag? Can he do it, Paul? Is it a poison chalice?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's the biggest poison chalice in football, alongside Real Madrid, pretty much, and probably Chelsea to some extent as well. Although I think Chelsea will settle down now because they'll have to. But no, there is the pressures of seeing at Man United, and it's the weight of history that adds to that pressure. 9 years without a league title now, and that quickly becomes 10, and then when you're at 10, all bets are off really, and it is that weight of global expectation from the fan base adds to it. And then in addition to that, you've also got all the players who were absolute legends of the football club, the ones who won everything, who hold the club to higher standards on the pitch, and they are tearing that football club apart on every single channel that hosts the football across the world. And I know all this because this is what it was like to be a Liverpool fan in the 90s and early noughties, where you had to listen to Alan Hansen trying to explain to you why Bjorn Torkavama wasn't good enough to be a centre-back for Liverpool, and be like, yeah, no one was really as good as you, mate. And so, you've got all of that, and then you've got the bickering that goes on with it, and then you've got things like certain players are performing, but maybe they're not really at the level for the team ethic and all that kind of stuff, and it's very hard to unpick what is good enough when you're in that sort of mire. And Ten Hag looks a really good manager, good coach by all standards, but is he of the same standard as Klopp, Guardiola and Tuchel? Maybe. He absolutely might be, but he's going to have to be. He's going to have to be at least that good, and even if he's that good, he's still fighting against the football club.
Hi guys, welcome to Lee Judges TV. We have an epic show lineup for you today. Of course, we are previewing the Manchester United and Arsenal match. But before we go into that, Lee, we had a little event yesterday at the Hippodrome, which was really epic on massive proportions. Everybody was there. Casey was there. We had, obviously, Dan there, Sophie, Tom, Harry, yourself, myself, everybody was there. And it was just such an epic event, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Just got to say a big thank you to the Hippodrome. I'm going to be honest with you, Dave. I've always just thought the Hippodrome was just like a casino. That's what I thought it was until I went in there yesterday and just showing completely different events. I've got to say a big, massive thank you to the owner, Simon. He was, it was fantastic. Even popped in to see how we was getting on. Obviously, like George and Mike, who actually run the thing. What an unbelievable job they do. With the staff and everything. They're unbelievable. Made us feel welcome all the time. Beautiful food. That steak I had was unbelievable. Champagne.
Made you turn up 15 minutes late, mate, to the bloody shoot.
Well, that's why, Dave. I'm not being horrible. You know what I mean? Like there's these two lovely ladies serving the champagne and steak, and you're saying, "Come on, we've got a show to do." I said, "Hold your horses." You know what I mean? I'm not going to finish this steak. You know what I mean? So it was unbelievable. But I tell you what, fantastic. Kevin Campbell being there, absolute brilliance. Got to say a big up to Sophie for putting the event together. Absolute. And that's the first time I've met her. What an absolute legend of a woman she is, by the way, and I've got to say, knows her football, Dave, but brings it across really well.
100%.
The professionalism of Harry and Tom I think is a credit to them. You know, they're both doing really well in the journalist world now and things like that.
I agree.
Couldn't happen to nicer guys. You know, they're different to me because they're educated, but and really doing very, very well. And I thought they were fantastic. Got to say, big up to Dan Potts because he that was the first time he's ever hosted live. I thought he'd done a cracking job, really done really, really well. So well done to him.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you guys in the background, Dave, he was sensational all night. I have to say that to put that on, set that all up. You know what I mean? I can't even set jelly. That I'll be honest with you, like, you know, to set all that up and do that. What was your fella's mate? Your assistant, Aaron. Big up to you two guys, and of course Sam, our media
guy as well.
social media guy. You know, he was fantastic as well, and also most importantly, like the people to turn up. I think at the end of the day, it's fantastic. You can put your computer on, and you get you know how many people ever come and watch you and whatever. But when people come out of their evening, go by train to get to an event and things like that was unbelievable, like, you know, and
I agree.
it was just a great night, and I hope everybody really enjoyed it, and we're going to be doing some more stuff like that, bigger and better.
100%.
I was speaking with Mike afterwards, who runs it, was so impressed with the way it all went and everything like that. It was a little bit of a taster when it, you know, they were testing the water with us, and they was more than impressed. So I just want to say, like, whoever turned up yesterday, thanks for coming. The next time we're going to do some big events. We've got some big events. We're thinking about doing some World Cup watch-alongs. With myself and Kevin hosting that.
And we'll bring a lot of fans down for that as well.
Yeah, hopefully bring loads of different fans down where we can have a fan zone and things like
Brazilian
that.
fans, maybe.
Brazilian fans, we can have them. Like, you know, we won't have. Unfortunately, there won't be no Italian fans. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
sorry.
So the lovely Maria, she just have to serve the old champagne from the cocktail bar. But we get loads of people in, and what we're going to look at do is do a halftime chat with myself and Kevin, and we're trying to do some stuff around the Hippodrome. You know, fancy that you come down there, do a bit of Christmas shopping. Come and watch a bit of football because the World Cup, of course, is
and we're going to have
in the winter. The
greatest thing about yesterday as well, bigger and better than yesterday. The venue,
and the great thing about it, Dave, is that in this, if the World Cup was in the summer, we could have had it on the rooftop bar, which would be fan. You imagine if it was in the summer, it'd be fan. But the World Cup's, of course, in the winter. You don't want to be up on the rooftop bar being cold. So what we do is we take you to a nice bar, nice stage in the warm, and watch it from there. Like, so,
and a big screen as well.
Massive screen, like, you know what I mean, like, you know. So, but what a great night, and really enjoyed it, and I hope everybody did. And if you've not seen the two podcasts, they're up and about now. And of course, also we've got which I'm going to let you talk about, Dave, because you filmed it yesterday with me and Kevin.
Yeah, well, I filmed a little behind the scenes footage with Kevin and Lee going around asking people questions, but also taking part in a bit of a cocktail masterclass from the barman, and then also they had like a little one-up on each other, who's going to get the most pictures and the most selfies together. It was a 4-3 at one point. I think it turned to 15-10 in favour of Lee Judges. So Lee Judges at the moment is more famous than Kevin Campbell. Imagine that. Imagine that. But
we've got all of that on there, and of course we if you didn't know about the Hippodrome, they've got Magic Mike, which is like a live show with all the strippers. Now, as me and Kevin were doing, we actually done the scene out of Magic Mike. Somebody come up to us and said, "Show starts in 15 minutes." They actually thought we was a couple of the old dancers, you know. So there you go. So Kevin's still trim, good-looking guy. You know, I mean, I'm still trimming about the good looks, but I've got the body still, like, you know. So, but so we was asked to actually go on stage last night, but we declined. But it was a great night. So so I'll tell you what would be a great thing, Dave. Just come to my head. What could be do if you're married and you got all them coupled up and whatever. What you can do is all the boys can go downstairs and watch the World Cup watch-alongs and things like that, and let the women go and watch Magic Mike. What a great day!
That's it. True, 100%. And of course, apart from the Hippodrome, we are here and we covered it to cover a little bit of the Chelsea game last week, and the win itself for Arsenal was. I mean, I watched the full match myself, and it was pretty incredible to watch the scoreline at the end of the day. Lee were there present at Stamford Bridge. What did you kind of make of the whole game, apart from summarising on top of what you said yesterday live at the Hippodrome?
Let's talk to you first. You're neutral. You know what I mean? If you don't know Dave, he's not a Spurs fan, even though he does a little bit of work for a Spurs man. He's actually a Real Madrid supporter, so he's very, very neutral. So, what did you think of it as a neutral point of view?
It was literally the first half was Arsenal scoring. 2 minutes later, Chelsea scoring. Arsenal scoring again. 2 minutes later, Chelsea scoring. And I thought overall, looking at the match, I was very surprised to see the formation change literally 10 minutes in after Arsenal scored. Very surprising from Mikel. And I don't know what was the reason behind this. Maybe just to solidify the defense a bit more. But with looking at Eddie Nketiah and how the team performed, it was very surprising to see Arsenal winning that at Stamford Bridge, because being a Real Madrid fan and seeing Chelsea absolutely destroy us at home, okay. Obviously, we had our one up on them at the Bridge as well, and we played excellent at the Bridge, and we played a similar style to Arsenal actually at Stamford Bridge to what you played during the week, where we just literally went on the counter attack and let Chelsea have a lot of the ball, deliver the goods in the counter attack. And Eddie Nketiah done a fantastic job, I have to say. He looked literally on form, very quick on the press, same as the front three. And it was an excellent victory for Arsenal and trying to claw in that top four. And I feel kind of in between, because I work with someone who's a Spurs fan. I work with you who's an Arsenal fan. And it's very tight on that top four race. It's so close. And it's going to be a nail biter. I said to X that it's going to literally be decided on the North London derby. It has to be. It's going to come to it.
Yeah.
X says yes, 100%. I agree. It's going to be a North London derby decision, and see what happens from there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that. Do you know what? But we said yesterday, you can't call it, can you? You can't actually call it who's going to, because at the end of the day, you don't know who's going to win, draw, or lose from one game to the next. You know, I never see that game coming, that Chelsea game coming. I said if Arsenal were, somebody said to me the other day, are Arsenal out the top four? I said not at the moment, but unless they do madness. If they do a madness and beat Chelsea, then they're back in it. You know what I mean? But I couldn't see it happening, if I'll be honest. I didn't think it would happen, but that was what Arsenal had to do. Arsenal had to do some madness to get back into the top four race. They done it. It was a fantastic performance. I think, first and foremost, and as I said yesterday, Mikel Arteta deserves all the credit. He picked a team that everybody that I was with went, oh no, I can't believe it. Didn't think it was going to be a great team.
Started on the bench, didn't he? He started on the bench.
He was moaning about Martinelli not starting up front. He's gone with Eddie again. Rob Holding's come in back three with Saka playing as a wing back. What's he doing? El Neni coming into the team that hasn't been featuring very often.
He went with a back three. Yeah, he went with a back three
to start off with.
And you called it as well on our previous show.
Yeah,
that he may go with a back three.
Yeah, I said that he might go with a back three, but I would have thought that Cedric would have been playing, but he got it completely right. You know what I mean? I think that we made a couple of mistakes for their goals. I think that listen, they made a mistake for Eddie's first goal, but I will say this: if Lacazette was playing in the game, that he wouldn't have made that mistake. The reason he made that mistake was because of pace. The second goal was sensational, counter-attacking football. If Real Madrid, if Real Madrid would have done that, or Liverpool, or they'd be drooling all over that goal. I'll tell you what, they drooled all over the goal for Liverpool against Man United with Salah. It was a fantastic goal, a lovely little flick from Mane. Arsenal's goal was much better than that, with the build up from the edge of the box through the lines.
I saw that because I was literally looking at that goal, and I was like, Chelsea are literally going to score here. Who was the man that brought that ball out that bloody area? Xhaka. Granit
Xhaka.
Xhaka brought the ball. I think he nutmegged the player in the
He
way.
nutmegged the player. I think he nutmegged Alonso, if I'm
I think
not
he
mistaken.
nutmegged Alonso, and he
Yeah,
brought the ball out literally Yaya Toure-esque, bringing the
yeah,
ball out of the box, and it was just all stemmed from him. And I
yeah.
really like Xhaka. I'm not his biggest fan either,
No,
but he brought it out, and he's the one. The whole play stemmed from him on that.
yeah,
On that
and
goal.
then after the Yaya Toure run, as you quite correctly said, he then plays a Fabregas looking ball to I think it was to Odegaard, who played it to Saka. Saka does his little thing. Then Odegaard then measures the pass, and what a sublime finish from Smith Rowe. Fantastic goal. So everything that we done on on the night really works. I thought the substitutions were spot on. I felt that bringing on Cedric, he still got a little willing to run, but he has that little defence side that's shored up the right hand side, and then bringing on Martinelli for the last 20 minutes to just keep the intensity of the pace of what Eddie had done for the first 60, 70 minutes. Just a wonderful game of football as well. It was a really good game to watch. I think for neutrals, apart from the Spurs fans, wouldn't have been very, very happy with that. Listen, what I will say this: when I put things on my timeline, and Spurs fans are saying, "Oh, Chelsea don't want us to get top four. We want you. They wanted you to win. They didn't even turn up and all that." Like, you know that result bothered them, and that's what it did, because they actually thought we wasn't going to win that game. Now it's like when they go to Liverpool in a couple of weeks' time, Dave. We're expecting Liverpool to win that. If Liverpool were to lose that and Tottenham to win that, that would be a big kick in the old backside for us, So from my point of view, that's a great performance. The fans on the night were absolutely outstanding.
I heard it. The Arsenal chant about Chelsea's got no fans in the stadium was absolutely epic. I love that one.
Just like the old days, there's nobody here. I'll tell you what, when that went up, every single fan was singing that to the loudest before. It was absolutely sensational.
You couldn't hear any Chelsea fans in the stadium.
No, it was unbelievable. Like, the fans put in a performance, the players put in a performance, and we now go on to, of course, Saturday, and Man United, and what that's done, Dave, is been a massive shot in the arm of confidence, because all of a sudden, I didn't see it happening, but now if that doesn't give you any confidence, from last, if you can't beat Chelsea by 4-2 and really give them a good ironing, that's got to give you the confidence going into. I think it's got much more confidence going into the game against Man United. Manchester United, by the way. No, listen, we all know football can be funny and do everything. Manchester United just got stuffed by 4. We've got 4. Their confidence must be down a little bit, and ours on a high. We need to go in there with intensity in the first 20, 25 minutes, and blow them away like Liverpool did. And that's
a lot of United fans are not confident. Before I go into that, let me read a super chat from Chaitanya. Chelsea win got us a lifeline. We need to be aggressive versus United. Ronaldo's a poacher, so we need to score more. And Ronaldo is planning to be back. Obviously, sadly, his baby born passed away. So he's going to be back. And I think I said this. Who did I say this to? I said this to Aaron, my mate, yesterday, that you may just see Ronaldo on complete fire, because maybe he'd be not upset or stuff, or maybe things on his mind, but he just wants to play football. And if he's in that zone, then he's going to be in trouble as well. And it's going to be a tough game. And looking at the preview from BetVictor as well, they talked about Ten Hag obviously coming in, and he was appointed, and the confirmation of Ten Hag. And I think in the build-up to this, while Rangnick is manager, there needs to be kind of Arsenal being on the front foot all the time. And while United are down and Maguire apparently is out for tomorrow, he's been dropped because everybody's saying on the chat that he's going to be dropped for tomorrow, and I've just confirmed on the news story that he's probably going to be dropped tomorrow. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I think it's a bad thing for Arsenal.
Well, listen, they've got players out. Let's get it right. I watched them against Everton the other week. They was awful. You know what I mean? But like, I'm not underestimating them. You know what I mean? Like, Arsenal, Man United. There is a rivalry there. There's history there. So I think form goes out the window a little bit. Like, they've still got good players. I don't, as we just said on the BetVictor video, like, is it a poison challenge at Manchester United? It seems to be at the moment. If I'll be honest, I think it is, because they've had a manager that got the best out of every single player, nearly every single player, and every ounce of talent he got out of them. Like,
Ferguson, yeah.
With Alex Ferguson, yeah, you know what I mean. Unbelievable manager. Whether you liked him or loathed him, and basically,
I thought you were about to say Jose Mourinho for a second.
No, it's certainly not like, you know what I mean. But like, Ferguson, I didn't like him for obvious reasons. But was an outstanding manager though, and to replace that is very, very hard. Look, Arsenal have found it very, very difficult with the Arsene Wenger. There's a little bit of similarities in that. And now they're finding the same sort of position. The end of it, Dave, if I'll be really, really honest, like Rangnick has just been a real total disaster. Has he been better than Ollie? I don't think so. So they haven't got the reaction from the players that they hope.
Maybe defensively, but on the attack is
maybe defensively. But so from that point of view, I think that with the announcement in the week, that may be a kick in the right direction for them. Players now need to play, but there's certain players that don't want to be at Manchester. Can you believe that? There's players that don't want to be at Manchester United, and we've had it at Arsenal when we felt that players don't want to be at Arsenal. Couldn't believe it, but it happens, and there's a pressure on Man United to win football games, probably more intense than there is at Arsenal, but there's still that pressure of winning games of football at Arsenal as well. So I'm not going to underestimate Manchester United tomorrow. If we do not turn up and we do not play well, we will get beat. We have got to be at our best to beat them, and that is what we need to do. We need to be sharp, quick in those front areas like we was on Wednesday night. Listen, the way that Chelsea played, we talked about this yesterday, suited our counter-attacking football. Manchester United won't play that way. And if Maguire's out tomorrow, I think that they're probably looking at it for Maguire. Nothing against him. Arsenal have got pace up front in all areas. He's weak with pace, so they're going to look to go with pacey players instead of like the intricate players. So straight away, what does that tell you? That tells you, Dave, that that they've had a little look at our front three. It worries them. So that's great news. Tommy Asu could be back, so Mickey's saying. So, listen, we need to get him back as soon as we can. I've got a little feeling tomorrow that Cedric will come back in at right back. I don't think that Ben White will play right back at home. I think that it was more to be a bit more solid defensive-wise against Chelsea. I think from tomorrow's game, we're going to need to attack them down the flanks, and that means fullbacks bombing on. Tavares, I thought, done very, very well. In parts in the game, so I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. Now, a few people saying in the chat, "Hi, it's great to meet you all." Stephen, who else was there last night? Wonderful to see you last night, and thank you for making the time and effort and turning up
to come up. Yeah, exactly. So we had another super chat earlier, and I had to check and confirm this news, and it's actually true. It may be a rumor at the moment, but apparently Arsenal is in advanced talks with Jesus. Have you heard this news?
No, tell me.
Apparently he's been in advanced talks. A few reported outlets have said that there's been certain talks.
Not been played right at Manchester City, is he?
No, but the situation is, I think, he's been playing as a false nine at Manchester City, so, and I think it suits him, but he's not the most clinical finisher in the world, Jesus. I don't find him the most prolific striker. He's not, for example, a Haaland, is he? And that's going to bag in 20 goals a season or plus. So it's a bit different, obviously, on that basis. But looking at Man United game, where do you think are the dangers for Man United, for Arsenal, when you're looking at Man United? Is it primarily Ronaldo? Is it maybe Sancho, who's been reportedly from the start against Arsenal? What do you think is going to be the danger for Arsenal?
No, same old suspects, really. Like, you know what I mean? I think that Ronaldo, obviously, like, for obvious reasons, you know, on his days, he's still one of the best players. And, you know, 37 years of age, scoring hat-tricks and doing what he's doing, you know, I find that incredible. I've got to say, like, 37 years of age, you know, absolutely incredible to be doing that.
Well, you're 36, so you score hat-tricks.
Well, listen, I carried on. I was playing semi-pro till I was 39. But not, you know, not to be doing it at the top level, you know, unbelievable, like, you know, so unbelievable. So he's got to be there. Bruno Fernandes definitely got to be worried about. Sancho, as you said as well, like, you know, so they've got some players that can win games for them, like, you know. Fred not going to be there. He's caused us a few problems in the past, you know. So you know, because I think that we've got to win that midfield battle. Look, listen, we won the midfield battle on Chelsea. Now, you know, everybody goes on about Conte and they go on about Mason Mount and
Xhaka was better than Conte in that match.
Yeah,
Xhaka
he was. We was there, I can't think who the other midfield player was in there.
El Neni.
No, for Chelsea.
I don't think it was Jorginho. I think it was.
No, it was. He's got a double-barreled name, English. Loftus-Cheek, that was it. He played in there, and we dominated it in there, like, you know. So we've got to dominate that Man United midfield, which would probably be McTominay, and I don't know who else. So if Fred's not playing, I don't know who they're going to play, but whoever it is, let's get on top of them. The one thing that they've got an advantage over us, Dave, is that they've had the extra day's rest. You know, but I think that when you're winning like that, you'd be fresh for Saturday. You know what I mean? As I say, so and I'll tell you what, I'm really going to say this now. The fans have got to be at their best. It was fantastic on Wednesday night. The fans have been fantastic, and every home game, bar Brighton, we wasn't up for it against Brighton. I think because we see the team the team and everything that we was not quite up for it. We must get in there and be right on giving the fans a great, being as great as we have been all season, and give those players that little bit of a lift, because I can't believe for the life of me that they didn't get a lift from that atmosphere on Wednesday night. So the Arsenal fans have got a part to play. The players, obviously, the manager has, because the manager's got to get the decisions right from the start and during game time as well, and try and be a little bit more consistent now to the end of the season. And I think now it is who's going to be the consistent ones, Dave. It's going to get there. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm looking at Man United itself. Obviously, the defense is one weakness. That's a guarantee. How do you think Arsenal will play the game? Do you think they will just try and just full pelt them, go and attack all the time against Man United?
I think that they've got to start off. They've got to start off very, very quickly, and I think that's what they're going to have to do. I think they're going to have to start off quickly, try and get that early goal, and then get Man United to come out against us. You know, and then that, I think, will play in our hands. Keep the tempo, keep it going very, very, very quickly. Listen, Manchester United, if it weren't for their goalkeeper this season, would have been in, I don't know where they'd have been. I think he's been outstanding for them. There was a question asked to me yesterday, who would, if you've done the Man United 11, who would be the goalkeeper, Ramsdale or De Gea? Very, very tough choice. Who would be picked there? Very, very tough. So for me, as you know, he has kept Manchester United in the race at this moment in the top four, and that is a key tomorrow, Dave. If we win tomorrow, it really does take them out of the equation. Like, do you know what I mean? And it then becomes a shootout between Arsenal and Spurs. So I think do that. So we'll have to wait and see. Like, you know.
Yeah, we will do. So for me, I think personally, I'd safely say that Man United itself I think they're just going to look at Ronaldo as an outlet, to be honest. I think they're just going to be looking at him mainly to score the goal. I don't see the goals coming from anywhere else. Maybe Sancho if he plays. I actually don't see the goals coming from anywhere else. Where do you think the weaknesses will lie for Arsenal? Like, where do you think their main weakness? Who do you think is going to be the main focal point for Man United to target? Is it going to be that right hand side? Maybe if they play a back four, if Cedric goes there.
Listen, I felt we was a little bit weak down the right hand side with Ben White there. If I'll be honest, I think he improved as the game went on. So for me, Cedric comes back in. I would go that because it's a different game, Dave, away from home. Different game when you're at home. You've got to have a little bit more emphasis going forward. So Arsenal's weakness is our fullbacks at the moment. You know what I mean? Like I know it sounds silly. Our defence has been our rock through this season, but a couple of injuries here and there to Tomiyasu and now to Kieran Tierney. Now I don't care when you say about players and all that. Like if you lose your two main fullbacks, the backup fullbacks coming in are not going to be at the same quality because if they was, they wouldn't be backup fullbacks. So so the quality of that's going to drop a little bit, and that's where I think Arsenal at the moment. Do you know what? We used to keep a lot of clean sheets a little while ago, and you thought, yeah, clean sheet here, 2-0, 1-0s, and all that. Like we need to start keeping clean sheets again, but I don't think we've got that in our locker at the moment. So if I'm going to say there's a weakness in the team at the moment, it is that defensive side of our game.
Yeah, I agree. So. I don't know. From my perspective, I think predictions-wise, looking at the Man United game, at the Emirates, I'd probably say 2-0. I think...
What you're going for, 2-0?
I'm thinking 2-0. I think Arteta will start Eddie again after his recent brace at the bridge. I think Eddie will start. I think Ødegaard will start. Saka will start. And then Smith Rowe again will start. I don't think they will do. I'm not sure if they will do a back three again. I don't think they need to.
No,
do you think they need to?
No, I don't think they need. I think that horses for courses. I thought it was a good move for this game here. They could go with a back three and get the attacking side of the two wing backs again if they want to go down. Because you play a back three doesn't mean to say it's a negative and defensive formation. You can use it to be positive. So it'd be very interesting. Rob Holding done a great job on Wednesday night. I think that Eddie deserves to start again, but if they are a team that's going to drop back deep, Dave, and you can't really then use his pace in from behind, it might be the intricate man needed to play, and that's Lacazette. So, do you know what when the team comes out on tomorrow about 11:30, I'm going to be very, very interested to see what it is because I think that it'd be a big call whatever happens. If he makes a couple of decisions, may feel like a couple of players tired or whatever. I just think whatever he does tomorrow, people are going to look at him and say like, what would be an interesting, a very, very interesting team set. I don't really know what he can do. I can see, to be honest, if he put Lacazette in, I could see why. If he put Martinelli in, I could see why. If he changes the back four a little bit, I can see why. So I'm not going to be critical of it, but whatever he does, he's got to get this one spot on. And I think Mikel now is going to play a big part whether we get into the Champions League or not, because team selection is going to be key and how we're going to go about games, But at the moment, we're taking it one game at a time. Manchester United at home is a little bit of a different scenario to Chelsea away, Dave, So team selection may change in this game.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. That song was Super Mick Arteta with the Champions League thing. Honestly, Dan said it pissed him off last time, that song. And I put it in our private WhatsApp group. That is literally one of the... You sing it. I think it was the record number of chants I've ever heard at Arsenal away singing that song. They sang it literally every 5 minutes.
Listen, it's a very, very catchy song. It's very, very good. But at the moment, it's not for me, if I'll be honest, because it could still come up and it's in the face.
Bite you in the ass, yeah.
Yeah, bite you in the ass. So, but if we're going into the last game of the season and we're 4 points clear, I'll be singing it like everybody else because then the job's done. Like so, we'll see it like So, I can see why people sing it, and I can see why people get the by it. But I've got to say, it's a catchy song.
It is a catchy song. And a question here for yourself. CR7 has given him trauma apparently from Noah, because it's inevitable that he's going to score against Arsenal. And throughout the years, even when he was before at Man United, it always seemed like he was literally just going to score all the time. Does he give you nightmares before a match?
Certainly did when he was younger. Listen, I thought he was a fantastic player when he was at Manchester United. I had the pleasure of watching him in the Real Madrid Juventus final at Cardiff.
Yeah.
When he was in his prime.
Oh, you went to that one, yeah?
I went to that game. Yeah, got invited.
He was incredible in that game.
Got invited to that game and went down. We stayed in Swindon and went into Wales for the game. And that's when he was in the peak of his Oh my God, he was unreal. It was a fantastic game, and Juventus were a very, you have a look at the Juventus side now, it's aging, but this Juventus side was good, yeah.
Mandzukic scored that amazing overhead kick.
Yeah, they was in their prime, but Ronaldo won them that game. And so listen, when you're doing it,
fair play to Modric on that game as well. I love Modric in that game.
Yeah, when you got a Gareth Bale come on as a sub, I think the year before he got the goals, but I think that was just the start of his injury sort of nightmare at Real Madrid.
Yeah, it was.
When a player can score it goal willy nilly in the biggest games of Europe, when he's playing against a piss poor Arsenal back four, of course he's going to have a field day. And at 37, he's still getting hat-tricks against Tottenham and Norwich, when most players are on their way down, to the lower leagues and all that, so he's still doing the business at 37 years of age. And I think has definitely got to be respected. And, we've got to keep a big eye on him.
Yeah, I do as well. When I watched him at Madrid, not so much at the start, obviously, during Pellegrini, not so much during Mourinho, but when Ancelotti took over and then towards Zidane as well. Oh, incredible. Just incredible. And he's, okay, my favourite player of all time is Raul, but, you can class Ronaldo in the brackets of the top 5 Real Madrid players of all time. And I'm including Benzema in that now as well, since he's because he's coming more into the limelight. But Ronaldo always takes the limelight. You realise every time he goes to a club, he always takes the limelight. That's his character, isn't it? And that's his
of course.
That's his presence.
That's his presence. Exactly right.
That's his presence. And I think Arsenal are going to feel that presence, and I think he's going to have fire emojis all around him, because he's literally just going to be looking onto that goal. And if he's a man on a mission, then he will score, I think, inevitably.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough. But you've just predicted
it's up to. I think it's going to be up. I think it's going to be up to. Yeah, I think it's going to be up to Gabriel, maybe probably to stop him if he's up front.
Yeah,
I think Gabriel's big presence has to be him.
We stopped him in open play at Old Trafford, but he did score from the penalty, so he takes penalties as well. So you've got to be careful of him, Dave. You know what I mean? He's a top player. Simple as that.
Yeah. That's true, 100%. So, what's your prediction then going into the game?
2-1. I think that we nick it 2-1. I think it'll be a tough game, but I just think that defensively we're not quite as strong as we were. I don't know what people think, but I felt that, and I do think that Ramsdale was just gone off the ball a little bit, like very, very fortunate from a corner. I think Gabriel knocked it off the line. I think he flapped it a couple the other day. I felt should have saved their first goal, if I'll be honest. So he needs to get back into the top performances. Maybe because the defence has just changed a little bit and been a little bit wobbly. So's his performances. You know what I mean? When you've got that assured back four in front of you, it does make you play a bit better. But so that's why I think Manchester United will score, but I think we'll win it 2-1.
Yeah, I can agree with 2 goals to Arsenal as well. I'm not sure about the one, but depends on how Ronaldo is really. Thank you for everybody for the comments. Put your predictions down below. I have a little comment here. Odegaard, by the way, gift from Madrid. Overall, obviously, I always knew Odegaard was talented when he was playing at Real Sociedad. Not at Madrid, sorry. At Sociedad, because he was actually one of La Liga's best players that season. What do you think overall of Odegaard and his adaptation to the Premier League over the season?
I like him. I think he's got to use his right foot a little bit more. I think he's a bit too left-footed at times.
Yeah, he is too left-footed. He's a bit messy, isn't he?
Yeah, but, like Messi can get away with it. I know like players are right-footed and everything there, but I've been very, very impressed with him. I think he's going to he can only get better and better. I think that his range of passing is very, very good. He gets into those little pockets and looks comfortable, which is not easy. He needs to add a few more goals to his game, Dave. He really does to really become a top player. But that might come. But I'm a big fan of his. Yeah, I do like him.
Yeah, I do as well. I think he's epically talented ever since they done a highlight compilation of him when he was 16, 15, I think it was.
I think it's 15, 16 when he went around.
Exactly. When he was obviously kind of embedded into the youth project at Real Madrid. But the situation is we never realized his potential because we had Modric and we had Cruz, Casemiro. Those 3 are they were always incredible. Yeah,
timing's always important.
We're a team that doesn't develop players. Let's put it out there.
No,
we're a team that buys into it. Yeah, we buy into the players, and then if they are like Ronaldo, who was at the top of his game, he became Ballon d'Or-esque. Yeah. Benzema is Ballon d'Or-esque this season. Cruz, Modric was really, really excellent at Tottenham. Real Madrid, he's become one of the best midfielders in the world. So we take the player and we actually embed him into the kind of the system, but make them top, like really, really world class. And we have the opportunity to make a player world class rather than developing at a different club. But we don't develop players; we just buy into it, and that's pretty much it. So we have a few predictions here. Relly says 1-1. Relly says 1-1. Saksham says 5-0 to the Arsenal. Imagine if that's the score.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, Mr. Arsenal Podcast, 2-0 to the Arsenal. Ayisham says 1-0 to United. Think there will be goals, at least 4, hoping 3-1 to the Arsenal, maybe 2-2. That's what Dan M says. Well, I think that's pretty much it from us, guys.
Yeah, that's it for us.
That's pretty much it from us. Like we said earlier, the Hippodrome was an amazing event. We enjoyed everybody's presence there. Next time we will get speakers set up at the back, so people can hear us at the back. Obviously, everybody was able to hear Kevin and Lee. I think when Kevin spoke, it was literally like pin drop silence. Like as soon as he speaks, it's like everybody listens. Ex-footballer, obviously, amazing footballer and amazing guy to work with on so many shows. Such respect that a player of Kevin's caliber could come to an event, be with the crowd, do a meet and greet, and it's such a great thing to see, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah, it's just
and you watch him obviously when you're an Arsenal fan and during that time period, and it's you've got to know him as an individual now. How is that like as an Arsenal fan growing up for the years that you're also meeting all the you're meeting Charlie Nicholas, you're meeting a lot of different ex-footballers. What's it like as an Arsenal fan? I've never asked that question actually to you ever.
No, it's to be honest, it's been living the dream. You know what I mean? Like the greatest gift for me is like meeting these footballers and they know who you are. You know what I mean? Like my 2 favourite Arsenal players I've met and never disappointed me. Obviously, that being Charlie Nicholas, my first, and he's my favourite. What guy, lovely guy. When I met him, hello Lee, how are you, and all that. Like, and we've done a podcast together. And then in the show, he actually was on the stage and he said, I was having a conversation with Lee about this. And, you know what I mean? It was, for me, it was an unbelievable player that really I did start. I actually, when I left football, I had a year out when at the time that I got left from a professional club, I had a year out, and it was the time that Charlie Nicholas signed. And I started going all the home and away games. That's when I started first going because of Charlie Nicholas, I just loved it then. Like, of course, and my second favourite Arsenal player is Paul Merson, and what a player he was. But what a lovely guy. So it was great to meet them. I've obviously met others as well, but like Kevin, when I met Kevin, we just clicked as something clicked there, and we've been like very, very close ever since. Like, talk on the phone all the time, have a laugh. When we meet up, it's like we've never been away, and we've just got this great friendship. And I can tell you this now: what he does for the Arsenal fan base, I don't think gets the credit he deserves, because he talks to every Arsenal fan. He's prepared to go on shows, and for the love of the Arsenal, and he's just a real Arsenal man. Like, really, been in the weigh-ins with him, Dave. You know what I mean? Like, watching games and like at Man United, and he's as passionate as I am when we're watching Arsenal, but has obviously had the greatest thing of ever of putting the Arsenal shirt on for real and running out, so unbelievable. And I can't speak highly of him. Paul Merson is a Chelsea fan, but I tell you what, he's got Arsenal through and through. And I tell you what, Paul Merson said to me, he did support Arsenal. He says, once you play for the Arsenal, it gets you. And there's something about it, so that's what I love. I love it that when Arsenal players do that, and to follow these players around like I did, and then meet them. Dave, apart from meeting you, it's the biggest gift of all. There you go.
Yeah, and I saw, actually, what's it called? One of the great, actually, I've got to do this before I close the episode. One of the greatest moments in the Chelsea game was Saka scoring that penalty. He rushed over to the fans, the Arsenal fans, and he completely jumped into the commotion. I think that's what, if you look at Arsenal players of yesteryear, I think that's what it's trying to bring back that kind of
100%.
camaraderie with the fans.
Right. You're so right. There is a connection between the fans and the players now. You can see it. It's great to have. You feel their pain. It feels like when they lose, they feel our pain.
Well, I saw your pain when Saka missed I was in the DR Sports studio when Saka missed a penalty.
Yeah.
During the World Cup in the final.
Euros final. Yeah. So I must admit I was pleased he scored that one. I love it, the fact that we're getting English players coming through now. I'm not the greatest England fan, if I'll be honest, because it's always been Arsenal for me. But seeing a few of the English players, Arsenal players playing for England now is something I like. Saka's a wonderful player, but it's great when the players jump. Listen, I'll tell you, when you go to Chelsea, if you've got the choice, never go in the every time when I get my ticket, upper stand. Thank God for that. I've been in the lower stand a couple of times at Chelsea. It's awful. So, but it would have been probably like at the end of the game, that was probably the greatest place to be, because all the players are coming over there and all that, so fantastic that the fans are like what they are. So big up to them.
Yeah. So that's pretty much closed the episode for today, guys. Obviously, you got to thank Lee for being on Lee Judges TV.
I loved it. Thanks for you, Dave, for coming on and hosting.
That's it.
And look out for the video of me and Kevin
coming up soon this weekend. Yeah,
that's coming out over the weekend. We're very, very pleased.
It's
with
a funny one as well.
We enjoyed doing it, so hopefully you will enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
And listen, if you get the opportunity, you're in Leicester Square, pop into the Hippodrome, have a drink, have a cocktail. You don't have to just bet. There's so much more going on than you'll ever know. And I just thought it was a casino. It's not. It's
got
a
everything.
wonderful place. You can take.
It's even got a
wife.
barber leave, even though you don't need it.
Yeah, we've got the barber there. You can have your hair cut there. It's incredible place. Incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. Well, that's us, guys. And hopefully we don't have any more Millwall fans at the next show.
No, we don't want no Millwall fans. We had a Millwall fan turn up, Thankfully, it was a woman, but
It's a Millwall fan just came in and nearly ruined the whole of Sophie's whole. I don't know where they popped from, honestly. Millwall fans. I tell you, I went to London Bridge once, and I met a bunch of Millwall fans. I can't deal with them, unfortunately.
South London, you know what I mean?
I can't deal with them. I can't deal with them. Lucky you moved from Woolwich. Lucky. Well, that's it, guys. It's been your boy Dan Potts, and I'm joking, it's not. It's been Dave here with Lee Judges signing out, and we'll see you for the next show. Hopefully, Dan Potts will be here next time and replace yours truly. But thank you very much for joining, guys. Thank you for everybody who put their thoughtful time to write in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.
Have a great weekend, guys.
And I'm not going to say Arsenal.
Come on, up the Gunners. Come on, you Gunners.
There we go.